Hi, this is Ray Davis. I'm with Fast Car Decals, and today I've got a wet install on a 2018 Jeep Renegade. We're putting the Trailhawk style hood stripe on. I got it sitting up there, and just wanted to answer a couple of questions that I get asked the most, especially when somebody gets their kit for the first time and opens it up and they call me and they tell me, hey, it's blue. It's blue. Now this one doesn't look blue right now, but if it was any other color it would. And that's the pre-mask. Our pre-mask is blue, and it's a high quality pre-mask, and when you go taking it off you'll see why we use it. But as you remember, the vinyl is in between the pre-mask and the backing, and that's what I wanted to talk about in this short video is when they come in and it looks blue, it's not. That's just the pre-mask, the protective coating, so that when you squeegee it, it does not cause any problems as far as scratching. Another problem that a lot of folks have is the backing. It's a paper backing, and if it gets wet, now I'm going to turn this over. As I'm applying this, I'm going to remove that white backing off. But if this gets wet, if the backing gets wet, when you pull it back, it's going to leave some paper on that glue. You can get it off, but you have to soak it, get it real wet, and kind of just take your fingernail and scratch it right off. It will happen, but it is a pain. So the best way to alleviate that is to not get the backing wet at all. In fact, it actually voids out the warranty. So just be careful when you're doing a wet install to not get the backing wet. I'm gonna go ahead and get this thing laid down and go over some points on squeegeeing this particular kit out. Okay, as you can see, I've already removed the paper backing off. Did it so that it didn't get wet. But this is the glue. This is the adhesive that's actually exposed, sticking up, and I'm getting it good and wet. The solution that I'm using is water and just a couple small drops of Dawn dishwashing liquid. I like the blue kind. So I'm getting this really nice and wet. Now what I'm going to do, until I learn how to use a tripod and actually have one, I'm going to flip this over so that it goes right where I want it to go. As you can see, it will move around because it is wet. So I'm going to get this where I want it. Sticking a little bit, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull that up, and I'm going to soak that down real good. There we go. So I'm going to get that where I want it, and then I'm going to show you some tips on squeegeeing it out. So hold on just a second. Okay, I'm back. I got it where I want. What I've done is I have looked at the margins around the windshield wiper squirters and the margin up the top, ready to squeegee it out. My suggestion on this is always start in the middle, and that's what I'm going to do, because if you don't, it will move on you, and that's okay. You reposition it, but I have found that if you start in the middle, like I'm going to do here, and just go to the side just one time, it's down, it ain't going anywhere. They come around. So what I've done is I have went around, and I'm coming down a little bit, and I'm just working it back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and I'm going to do that all the way down. So okay, well, I've came across a little bit of a problem, so I'm going to lift that up. We'll come back a little bit, put it back down, starting in the middle with my squeegee, pretty square, not like this, not like that, but actually square. And I'm coming back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and I'm going to keep doing that till I get to the end. You can see I've got a little bit of fingers, and it's okay to kind of finish it off this way. Finish it off. So now I'm going back up, and I'm going to get up here, and I'm going to work around these little squirters. I'm going to bring this up, let it back down. I'm going to work around these little squirters, and that's kind of where if you're going to have a problem, that's where you'll have it. Oh, I see a little bit of a bump. I can reach back in here and find out what is it. Oh, it's a piece of grit or something. Hair. Wouldn't be one of mine because I don't have any. But get that out of there. Squeegee it across. Squeegee it out. Alright, now we got it down. Now, you know what? I'm going to come back down again. A lot of times what I'll do is I'll squirt on here and kind of get that wet so that the squeegee goes easily back and forth. Now, right here, we have what's called fingers. And that's pretty normal. It's pretty normal. What you'll do is you'll just kind of take those fingers out. And when we remove that pre-mask, we can get all those fingers out of there. And it's a lot like window tint. You know, if you ever had any window tinting done, there's always a few specks of water, little specks in the window tint, and over time that goes away. Same thing with the wet install. There's always going to be a little bit of moisture till it comes out. And this vinyl is porous like skin, and it will come out. And then all those little teeny tiny bubbles of water will come out. And then I'll show you and then a picture of the application and how I get that pre-mask off. When I get to that point, I'll show you a little trick that I use to get the pre-mask off, because sometimes it can be tricky. So hold on till then. Okay, I'm back. I've got a little trick for getting the pre-mask off. A lot of times if you take your knife, it's usually best to, after you do install it, let it sit on there for a few minutes, especially when it's on a cold, damp day like today. What I've done is I've taken my razor knife and I've kind of got to the edge and I've just kind of pierced it up a little bit and got that blue pre-mask up. Now, one of the best tricks I can give you, best advice for this pre-mask, is you see it's coming off. If it's not coming off, put it back down and come back another time. But one of the best things you can do for yourself when you're installing this is to not take that pre-mask and lift straight up. Do not. Take that pre-mask and leave it down. In fact, my thumb is still on the hood. Careful around those. Just keep it down. Come down. And there it is. There's our blue pre-mask that everybody thinks is the color of their stripe, but it's not. Now, as you can see, I've got some work to do. I've got a couple of little water pockets that I missed, kind of on purpose, so that I can show you how I work these out. I got my Ofa knife, my razor knife, and I'm going to make a small little prick right there, and I'm going to take that water right on out. You see how I did that? A lot of these, if they're on the edge, they'll come right out. But if not, I can do a little, just a small little prick, or take a pen. Pen works good. You can work out those water spots, and then there you have it. You've got the 2018 Renegade Hood Stripe installed using the wet method. Thank you again for watching. Sorry my cameramanship is not that great. I'm new to this, but I'm trying, and I hope you can learn some tips. And I'll have more tips and tricks on this particular kit coming up. Please subscribe and please view and please thank you. And again, this is Ray with Fast Car Decals.